long courses that make up the Summer Academy for this year. And it's a night of celebration. I'm going to try not to talk for too long, but you understand I have to say thank you to lots and lots of people. And also I think reflection with departures in the morning, and I thoroughly echo what Harry's just said. I may sound like I'm... Yeah, okay? No, that's great, thanks. I may sound like I'm uttering a commonplace expression if I say I'm sad to see you go, to say goodbye to you all, but I really can't emphasise enough how much I feel that will be the case when tomorrow comes, and I'm very lucky because with a select group of you I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue for another 2 weeks, and we're going to go to Cambridge tomorrow. And I think also the case of my colleagues as well, that it will be a moment of sadness. Colleagues have taught you over the last 2 weeks, looked after you, accompanied you on various excursions, and it really has been a joy. Before I reflect on the fortnight just a little bit longer, before we get to the certificates, I'd actually like to begin by offering my thanks to a variety of colleagues. First of all, to two people who will probably demur. One of them was here until a moment ago, and is not now, and one of them isn't here tonight. They're the kind of people that never really expect to be thanked, so I want to say thank you. Dr. Mario Peters, who some of you may have met over the last couple of weeks, and Kim, who you've almost certainly met, Kim Terrell, the Chief Operating Officer of Oxford International College. Thank you for the kind invitation to join the Academy this year as Course Director. We've all known each other for a long time, and I've long admired the vision, and more importantly, the commitment to the vision that the college has. Delivering something like this, it's all well and good to talk about it, but to actually put it together and deliver it, which really very much brings me on to Jen Deere, who is the making of the course. And Jen, you know, my thanks to you again for the opportunity and for everything that's been made available. You will have all had some experience of this. Whenever there's a request, small or large, Jen responds with resourcefulness, good humour. And I hope that we've made it visible to you, the vision you've had of the course in the months of planning, and that in the midst of all the hard work, you've found time to pause and enjoy what this combination of tutors, topics and students has produced. So Harry McCarthy, well, what can I say? Woo. Harry's a mainstay of the academic programme, ensuring that tutors and students have the support they need to make things work so smoothly on an hour-by-hour basis. In the midst of all this, Harry's found time for his own teaching, and the product of which we've all witnessed in these extraordinary performances today, 3 performances of great depth and divergence. Harry, for me, embodies everything I've preached to you all about commitment in all you do, as he's brought delight to us all in the fun activities, the trips, the evening activities, as well as the academic side. So we'll just have that noise one more time, please. Join me if you want. Harry's exemplary organisation at OIC, Oxford Summer Academy, has been mirrored by Eddie Jacobs in all his work here at Teddy Hall. Thank you, Eddie, for your vigilance and concern on behalf of students, on the formal ends and the informal ones, because let's face it, life's all about a tub of ice cream and a movie sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, nothing more than that. My thanks to Eddie's team, the Ents themselves, to Kay and Helen, to Evie and Celia, for all your support and for the introduction to the world of apps. I was so naive until I met the ladies, and it's been eye-opening and instructive. It's a totally different world. I just don't occupy it. To those members of the teaching staff who have combined their academic work with the role of warden under Eddie's aegis, thank you. Leslie Parker-Collins and Carl Gibson, please have a hand for them, and a hand for Eddie as well. Leslie and Carl have been tireless in the support of students, and the constant access to immeasurable kindness and good sense is something I greatly appreciate and admire. It's as much a gift as being a great teacher, and I think you've all experienced that at first hand at school. And by the way, both of you are great teachers as well, because they're telling me that all the time. To all the tutors, some of whom are here last night, some new colleagues for me, like Mikhail, some old and dear colleagues like John Clare, my thanks again. What's impressed me again and again and again is the way in which the sound grasp of the requirements of syllabus in post-16 education, A-levels, IB, all the rest of it, provides a base for intelligent and inspired departures to the next level of study, what lies ahead at university, and the new combinations of knowledge that await and have so clearly ignited imaginations young and old, as I've stepped into rooms, talked with students, looked at work produced. The wow factor is never far away. I'm not a joy freak. You guys are actually amazing, truly amazing. My thanks and apologies to one tutor in particular, to Tom Moiser, who has been kind and tolerant of my many, many intrusions. He teaches my subject, English literature, and it's been a privilege to catch the dynamic of his wonderful sessions and to watch his students move to new heights. And again, we've seen examples of that this afternoon, the three wonderful young poets. The intelligence, articulation and creativity of the students I've been privileged to sit with has been extraordinary, both in the English department and in other departments as well. Before we turn to the achievements of students, which is really, it is all about you tonight, guys, and about you having this moment and then having some fun, I'd just like to offer one or two final reflections on the programme of events we've followed down the 2 weeks. It was interesting for me because, I looked at the programme when I first came and I thought, that's kind of fun and that's interesting, but Jen, it kind of made more and more sense down the 2 weeks. We went to see people who impressed us. We went to see Will Gompertz, this wonderful figure in the world of art criticism. We saw Caroline Duffy, the poet laureate, the premier poet in the country by public definition. We saw a performance of one of the most beloved and performed plays in Britain, Macbeth, interestingly by a group of young actors and who did tremendously well. We then moved on to this week, and it became much more about you guys and your performance, and that began very much with Carl and Carl's presentation of something that was very important to me to get through to everybody, that one can be an academic but one can apply that academia to the world. And I think what Carl presented to us earlier this week was truly remarkable and just one of the most extraordinary things that I've been at alongside sixth form students. It began to move towards you that night. It began to move towards you in terms of your questions, your points of observation, and the fertility of all the things that, as Harry quite rightly said, you brought before you were on the course were visible, and some of the things that have come together. And in that, I do not discount the importance of you being together, what you've learned from one another, what comes across at those moments, which is everything that university is about, and the thrill of that next level. The debate itself last night, again, it extended out even further. You guys ran the show, these 9 wonderful young people presenting, and then the engagement of the audience again, both in terms of questions and comment and voting. Alistair may never recover from those 4 minutes that were about 20 minutes with all the questions thrown in. And then today, it was kind of all you. I'd like to, at this point, thank Liz Rhodes, who's with us tonight. Liz, those photos were absolutely extraordinary. That distillation of things with those young minds and the cameras with you and Liz's guidance and something else coming together again. And I've already commented on the literary performances that we had today. So it became more and more about you through the course of the 2 weeks. I hope you take lots and lots of good things away from this. And I'm going to say this, it might sound a bit strange, I don't actually care what you take away from it, in the sense that there is nothing programmatic, there is nothing prescriptive. These are your lives. I just hope that we've added to them. There's a nice tradition in England when people are out walking. You have things called cairns. Does anybody, I'm going to ask a question to us. Anybody know what a cairn is? Yes. Mr. Clay, you're nodding sagely, and sir, you've not said anything. Would you care to tell these young people what a cairn is?
Well, it's a kind of sort of prehistoric stone on the top of a sort of a mound kind of thing. Yeah.
And what happens, John? How do cairns get bigger?
Well, they expand. You put gas in them and they expand.
Yeah. And the little stones, those ones, those little versions.
The little version.
Yeah.
Well, they just multiply now.
Because people walk along and put one on and put one on. I hope it's been a week like that. I hope that we and you with us put something on to your education in some way. That's the simplest possible form I can give it in. Thank you very, very much for everything that you've done in conjunction. Students, tutors, staff, thank you all for making this course what it's been in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, me again. Just before I let you know about how the certificate presentation is going to work, there is one person who hasn't been thanked. He's the man who tirelessly sits in an office with me all day and amazingly hasn't killed me yet. It's Andy Thompson, whose work on this course has just been exemplary, and I really Okay, so there are quite a few of you, and your tutors have very kindly given us some comments to read out about you. So what's going to happen is Andy will call your name. We'd like you to walk up this way, get your certificate from me, and as you're walking, Andy will read the things that your tutors have submitted. That will take a little while, so please be patient because you will all get your moment. When you come and get your certificate from Andy, he'll shake your hand and there'll be a photo op, so if you could just pose with Andy and your certificate, and then you'll have a nice souvenir of the occasion. So we will begin.
I'd like to thank the tutors for the speed with which they produced reports and the insightfulness of the comments. I'd also like to thank Harry for preparing this document, because it was quite an object, I think, with everything else that was going on. Thanks again, Harry. I think you've become used to the format, which is that we treat you entirely by your first names. So I apologise in advance for the desecration of surnames that is about to proceed. Nobody could come and just be called Smith, could you? We are wedded to this process of first names, so it's going to begin alphabetically, so the whole process is alphabetical. So please, Agam Adipratama, Agam, would you like to come forward? It's used to say that Agam has shown diligence and thoughtfulness throughout his courses. The great interest he's shown in modern international relations and comparative politics has seen him make valuable contributions to group discussions. Last night's debate revealed him to be a highly skilled orator, driving his team to victory with his unique blend of carefully constructed argument and improvised comedy. We're very glad that we get to keep Agam for another 2 weeks. He's going to be my wingman in Cambridge, aren't you? And look forward to seeing what else he can achieve on the second half of the course. Agam Adipratama. Next up, surprise, surprise, it's a girl. Has anybody noticed that we seem to have more girls on the course than boys? Aidan Christopherson. Aidan's written work and in-class presentations have demonstrated an impressive depth of understanding in a psychology major. The work she has produced has been of an exceptionally high standard. While her work and attitude to study throughout the course have been exemplary, she's also demonstrated a clear zest for life. Well done with that. And he's hardly ever not smiling or laughing, that's good. These qualities are just as important as academic prowess and have made her a pleasure to have on the course. We're sure we can expect many more great things from Aidan as she continues on the next 2 weeks of the course and everything you do beyond. Well done. Next up, Alexandra Lukowski. Is Alexandra still with us, or has that? Yeah, fabulous, we nearly lost you. Alex has shown that she's a confident student with an aptitude for advanced medical biology and an enthusiasm for learning new concepts and ideas, which her tutor has praised highly. She's also remarkably creative, bringing a rich knowledge and enthusiasm to her short stories minor. Tom has really appreciated the recommendations, particularly, do you want to read it? When she read one story by Kurt Vonnegut, one of my heroes, and then during her lunch break to make sure that he read it. Her own writing has a terrific clarity and maturity. Similarly, the determination to succeed evidenced in leadership and management elective, and indeed in everything she does, made her a welcome addition to the course. A little bit. And we wish her every success in the future. It's alphabetical, so anybody with the same name comes at the same time. Alexandra Street. Alexandra, would you like to come in? Alex has taken a very considered, studious and mature approach to her legal studies. Her draft of an act to ban the eating of parsley was a particularly impressive highlight. That's intriguing. In leadership and management, she's proven to be a keen and vocal member of the group, whose work and ideas struck her tutor in their detail and thoroughness. Indeed, she has impressed us all with her diligence and mature outlook. Thank you for being such a pleasure to have around over the last 2 weeks. Alexandra. Alistair. Alistair McDermott. Alistair's physics tutor has lauded his impressive combination of hard work and academic achievement. In philosophy, he's been a cheerfully willing novice, taking a keen interest even in concepts that he hasn't heard of. His captaining of the debate team last night was second to none, and while not achieving the final victory, he proved that vocal dexterity, even under threat of constant interruption, my hero, is another string to his very ample bow. This combination of skills and talent certainly makes us sure that wonderful academic achievements await him in the future. Just don't get too caught up in any street magic shows along the way. Anastasia Gasilova. Anastasia has impressed her Oxbridge preparation tutor with her diligence and willingness to stand her ground when challenged. Oh yes. In a similar vein, she has proved herself to be a thoughtful psychology student, asking thoughtful questions, demonstrating a careful consideration of course content. She's also worked well throughout her leadership and management course, and her tutor has been impressed with the way in which her confidence has developed. She's been a pleasure to get to know for the last 2 weeks, and we're so glad to have the chance to work with her again on the second half of the course. Andre. Come forward, young man. Andre Aria. Andre's law tutor has found him to be keen, highly enthusiastic, questioning and imaginative in his approach to legal concepts. Going as far as to argue with great enthusiasm that the touching of beetles should be punishable by death. The beetles, should that be, or beetles? A popular beat combo. In his geometry and trigonometry minor, Andre has shown an outstanding personality, which his tutor says has contributed in a very positive way to the development of the lessons here. His work ethic is really strong and his skills excellent. We're sure that his leadership and management classmates would all agree he's been good fun in the classes, and his tutors appreciated being able to rely on him to take part in group exercises and discussions. In all he does, Andre maintains an unfaltering optimism. His manners really are impeccable. He's a gent, he truly is. That's my wife. And we are certain that he'll go very far in life. Andre. Andre Moser, or properly, you're an Andy like I am. Andre is a deeply committed student whose astute and decisive comments in class have impressed her international relations tutor. Across all subjects, she's produced exceptional written work, which has been a testament to the amount of hard work she puts into everything she does. She was a leading light, and I thoroughly endorsed that at last night's debate, arguing valiantly against her own beliefs, which demonstrated real skill and maturity. Andrea Moser. We're still on the A's. Annette Aaron. I apologise to Annette the other day because, of course, Beth is very much an anti-Norway player. We're delighted to have a student from Norway. Annette's shown she's an engaged and diligent student, understanding new concepts quickly and making positive contributions to discussions in advanced medical biology. She's excelled in leadership and management, being described by her tutor as enthusiastic and conscientious. She's also a deeply creative side, which was in evidence at this afternoon's photography exhibition. In anything she turns her hand to, and it remains cheery and positive, which has made her a real asset to the course. Annette. Brady Dudell. Brady's academic achievement over the last 2 weeks has been a testament to the amount of hard work and enthusiasm she's put into her studies, be it in biology, critical thinking, or on the tennis court. Always ready with a joke and some good old-fashioned Texas sass. Yeah. She's been a delight to be around throughout the course. And Brady went through a couple of moments where she wasn't very well at all, but it was just brilliant the way you dealt with that. You came back from it. We really appreciate that. Brady, thank you so much. Oh, Brady, I'm sorry I missed stuff about you. stay standing up for a minute. We should have carried on larger than life, outgoing with more energy than the rest of students and staff put together. Yeah. She's been a highly valued member of the group. We'll miss her a great deal and wish her every success in the future. One more time for Brady. Okay, turning to Cameron. Cameron Lesker-Ken. Cameron is an avid and astute learner whose interest in the British political system has aided him greatly in his politics class. He has also been described by his maths tutor as friendly, able and very enthusiastic, with a particular flair for statistics. In fact, we all agree that Cameron's enthusiasm and energy have carried us through when he was on time back to the bus, that is. Camilo Carranza. Camilo is a real bundle of energy, yes he is, which is no bad thing on an intensive course like this. His contributions, both vocal and written, have really impressed his biology and critical thinking tutors, and his sporting prowess and that of his nation has proven a big hit with his tennis group. If his academic and sporting achievements were not enough, his wicked wit and sense of humour have made him a memorable and popular member of the group. Thank you and good luck in the future. Thank you so much. Eden Morrison. Eden's classical mythology tutor has been impressed by the speed at which she has picked up a lot of new information and terminology. She's able to explain what she reads with ease, and her presentation on several of the Olympians was great. We got an exclamation mark. Fantastic. Similarly, her maths tutor has described her as a delightful student who enjoys challenges, works hard and gets excellent results. More exclamation marks. Her outgoing personality and indefatigable energy have made her a sheer joy to have around, and we can't wait to see more of her in the 2 weeks to come. Here. Oh gosh, can I just say Kate? Katerina Kononenko.
Just Kate is fine.
Okay. Joining our course in week 2, Kate's been a fantastic addition to the essay writing group. She's hard-working and focused with a good eye for detail. I met Kate on Sunday and she was just amazing. I think you were amazing actually in welcoming her, but she hit the ground running. It was fantastic. She's also impressed her Oxbridge preparation and law tutors with the way in which she's quickly integrated and already started to demonstrate a real passion and flair for her subjects. I'm going to turn over just in case to get... And there is. We feel like we're only just getting to know Kate. It's only in a few days. Which is why we're thrilled to be welcoming her for 2 more weeks. Keep up the good work, build upon the fantastic foundations you've already laid. Well done, Kate. Ella, whose name I...
Miodovnik.
Thank you, destroyed earlier. Ella Miodovnik. My little girl took a shine to Ella the other day, and she'd seen the name written down, and she called her Ella Meow. So there you are. Cats are important in Ella's life. Ella's impressed her philosophy tutor with her alarming knowledge of the subject, alarming in a good way. More often than not, she'll already have heard of, or even read, an author or concept. She's delighted her creative writing group with tales of adventure with a typewriter, her love of dense and knotty detail, and enthusiasm for editing, which is most rare in a writer of her age, and is essential. Well done. We'd all like to thank Ella for her impressive maturity and contribution to making the course so much fun. Goodbye, and good luck. Ella, thank you so much. Erin Barrett. Erin's contributions to class discussions in psychology demonstrated a mature appraisal of material, as well as an ability to link ideas together. In leadership and management, she's made thoughtful and insightful contributions to discussion, using her experiences to inform her answers. Where she's really shone, however, was in last night's debate, in which she demonstrated a staggering level of oratorical dexterity that's well beyond her years. She should be immensely proud of her incredible achievements on the course. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much. Erin Pfluger. Erin's Shakespeare class, who have been studying King Henry VIII, have been very grateful for her expertise on the Tudor period, a subject for which she's shown a real aptitude in her history classes, despite never having studied history in any real depth before. She's shown real insight, and her peers have particularly enjoyed hearing about her impatience with Henry's whinging first wife, Catherine. And I've witnessed some of these sessions, and the guys were just amazing together, and Erin, fantastic. Erin is never without a smile, and it's hard to find fault with the amount of enthusiasm and optimism she's brought to every aspect of the course. Thank you so much, Erin. Julia Del Medico. Julia's Oxbridge tutor has described her as a thoughtful and resourceful student, and that's a huge compliment, that word, who was able to find her way through a problem with ease. She's also made helpful and insightful contributions to her biology group's discussions, demonstrating an excellent understanding of the topics covered. For one so young, Julia is incredibly mature and level-headed, invaluable qualities to have, and these will see her be highly successful in life. Julia. We turn now to a man who's in long trousers tonight, about the first time this week, Griffin High. Came with a variety of shorts down there. Griffin has been described by his politics tutor as being very politically aware, which has doubtless aided the excellent contributions he's made to discussion. In macroeconomics, he's demonstrated lots of natural curiosity and enthusiasm, and he's always ready to ask interesting and practical questions. We all agree that Griffin is a polite and charming young man whose excellent people skills are sure to help him excel in whatever field he chooses. I've had some wonderful conversations with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The name dearest to my heart, Hannah Kumar, because she's spelled just the way my daughter's spelled. Hannah, do you want to come up? Hannah is a keen and knowledgeable student with an impressive work ethic, which has really paid off in her Oxbridge preparation classes. Similarly, in physics, Hannah has shown she's got more than enough dedication to succeed. This, along with her skilled profile, makes her a great candidate to become a top student wherever she decides to go. Christine was delighted to teach Hannah French for a second year running. She describes Hannah as, and I'm going to quote now, a star. A brilliant student who she works so hard and is sure to reap the harvest of what she sows. She's also demonstrated superb creativity in her writing elective, but despite her high standard of competition, she's modest and humble about her achievements. Can I just say that that has been a hallmark of all of you? You're amazing in that. We've all remarked on that, and so many people. We can't wait to see what Hannah has to offer on the second half of the course. I'm so delighted that so many of you stayed on with it. Hannah. Hannah O'Neill. Hannah has been consistently attentive in advanced medical biology and has shown she's able to grasp new ideas and develop a solid understanding of them. The hard work she's putting to critical thinking and public speaking also paid evident dividends. In last night's debate, she demonstrated superb skill and admirable grace. I thought you held your ground fantastically, even in the face of defeat, and that was a hard motion to argue. Highly valuable, but all too rare life skills. We should all admire Hannah's sunny outlook and results-orientated attitude. We know whatever university she chooses, we'll be lucky to have her. It's Hannah O'Neill. Isabel Marchewski. Isabel's ancient Greek tutor has really appreciated Isabel's cheeringly positive attitude, thank you, and her unfailing enthusiasm to even the drier aspects of language learning, essential but often neglected by students, have made her a real pleasure to teach. In classical mythology, she and the group have benefited from her already extensive knowledge of myth. She has an excellent memory for specific details, which makes for very productive discussion. She's also made a strong impression on her creative writing class, as you will witness this afternoon, with her morbid interests, in the nicest possible way, and has delighted her tutor and peers with her long metrical sentences, here, and the exhilarating pace of her writing. We've greatly admired the way in which she's given her all over the past 2 weeks, and hope she continues in the same vein throughout the rest of her studies and beyond. Isabel. The next young man is about the first person I met, Jarrett Sloan. And we talked about World Cup. One of the course's most enthusiastic participants, Jarrett has shown great eloquence in his discussion of international relations. He's shown a mature and dedicated approach to economics, and his additional SAT prep, which is sure to have laid solid foundations for a glittering academic career. What a lovely adjective. His intelligent and useful contributions to his leadership and management elective have been greatly appreciated by his peers and tutor alike. We'd all like to thank Jarrett for his invaluable input in making the course such an enjoyable experience for all involved. And I can't tell you, his smiling face was the first student I properly met. It really helped me. So thank you personally as well, Jarrett. Jarrett Sloan. That was a commercial break. Yasmina Corrin. Yasmina's contributions in Shakespeare class have been greatly valued by all members of the group. One highlight was her fantastic interactive presentation about the power of the witches in Macbeth. She reads Shakespeare confidently, which is a great thing in a young person, bringing a thoroughness and care to her analysis as she does so. She should be very proud of what she's achieved over the past 2 weeks. We're certainly very proud indeed of her. Yasmina. Javier Hanahuel. That was my worst pronunciation so far, I'm sure. Javier, I'm so sorry for that. A deeply thoughtful student, Javier has brought creativity with a touch of humour to his economics group. And I think in the current climate, economics needs some humour. In maths, he has been consistently attentive and able, making him a pleasure for his tutor to teach. His thoughtfulness and diligence also paid off in his leadership and management elective, in which he delivered a fantastic and very well-prepared speech. We're delighted to have the pleasure of welcoming Javier for a further 2 weeks and look forward to seeing what else he has in store to impress us. Javier. Julianne Nicole Piron. We were delighted to welcome Julianne for a second year running. This year she's picked up Latin impressively quickly and can already write in the language. She and Carl have read a lot of Plautus comedy together in the original Latin. She makes a great Euclio. A Spanish tutor has also described her as hardworking and intelligent, whose enjoyment for learning new things is sure to see her blossom into a thriving university student. Very well done. And I saw something wonderful in the lesson in terms of translation work of Beatles into Spanish, the Beatles into Spanish, and actually performance as well. You know, you've got a wonderful talent. It would seem that as she's staying for a second fortnight, Julianne can't get enough of us. She should be well assured that the feeling is most definitely mutual. It is. And we can't wait to discover what else is to come from her. Julianne. Laura Sandman. In classical mythology, Laura has demonstrated a really good mind for understanding why the Greek used myths in certain ways, and is always able to find the meaning in the stories she reads. It's terrific work. A keen scientist, she seems to have no problem turning her hand from dusty tomes to lab coats, excelling in both biology and extreme science. Laura is an exceptionally bright young woman, a pleasure to teach for any tutor, and a valuable peer to any student. Congratulations, Laura. Lauren Fast. Laurent's French tutor has described her as, another quotation, Christine, you have the best quotations tonight, amazing. She's an intelligent student who has not only picked up the language very quickly, but also demonstrated initiative and imagination. These skills have doubtless carried over into her science work and have helped her to have an enormous success studying biology and taking science to its extremes in her elective. She's strongly urged to continue with her French, as she has a real talent for languages. In fact, she's sure to have great success in any avenue she chooses to pursue. Laura. Malika Aziz. Malika's Oxbridge tutor has continually found her to be a positive and enthusiastic student with an admirably thoughtful approach to her work. Her warmth and sense of humour brightened up her essay writing class no end. She showed an exemplary willingness to share her work with the group and to edit the work of others. Malika is always highly enthusiastic and willing to give things a go, something she'd do well to hold on to, as we're sure she's capable of achieving great things. Malika. Matthew Parmenter. Matt's leadership and management tutor has described him as a very confident student, quick to contribute to group discussions. He's good at relating theoretical discussions to real-life examples and explaining how he will put what he has learned into practice. His work in history as the only student taking the major has consistently been of a very high standard and has really impressed his tutor. Matt, I can't tell you how much Leslie's enjoyed the dialogue. Leslie's praised his genuine interest in military history, which will hopefully be fully realised in years to come. We've greatly appreciated Matt's mature and level-headed approach to his work on the course, which have afforded him a great deal of success and set an example to us all. We're sure this will continue throughout his university career and beyond. Matt Parmenter. Max. Maxwell Richardson. As the only student taking the critical thinking major, Maxwell should be commended for his originality, thoughtfulness, and insightful approach to the studying of this difficult subject. As well as being a clearly gifted thinker, he's